I will show you one image that you sent me.
Okay.
So if you can share some thoughts about it, and maybe another crazy story like this one with the lake or the roller place. I don't know, but if you can share
I'll
something
try.
else with this, it
Yeah, of
will be
course.
fine. Okay. So let me show you the first photo. Is this one? Did you see it?
Yes.
What you can tell about it?
This photo, so what's so interesting about this photo is I really just loved the framing of the trees with the
Yeah.
building. That was actually why I wanted to take the photo. The bird did not exist in the photo. And so, I brought my camera up to my face. I went to go take it. I knew I was shooting black and white, so I knew the contrast would be really cool with the sky and the branches and stuff. It was winter, so it was very cool. That's why there's no leaves on the trees either.
Mm.
And that's actually the oldest building in Seattle too. That one right there, the white one. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so it's like the oldest. Um, how do you say like a uh, like a what do you call them?
Sure.
Anyway, the old like a skyscraper, like the oldest
Okay.
The
skyscraper.
skyscraper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I can't think sometimes. Can't think in English. Yeah, so it's the biggest skyscraper, and I just love the look of it. It has a very timeless
Yeah.
kind of look to it. So anyway, I went to go take this photo, and then I went to focus, and then I saw the bird come, and I just took it. I just took the photo. I didn't see the bird actually go right where it was, and so I just took the photo. And I was like, okay, cool. I knew that the bird would come out in it. I just didn't know where or how. Maybe it could have been like flying in a way where it didn't have its wings expanded.
Mhm.
So I just feel like this photo, if it teaches me anything, it's like sometimes when you take a photo that you originally intended, sometimes it turns out a lot better than you thought.
Yeah.
And it could be because something within a split second changes like this one, and then you capture something totally unique and totally interesting. And so I remember when I developed this role and I saw this frame, I was like, wow, what are the chances of that bird being directly lined up with the building and having the wingspan out and just being able to fully see it's a bird. So I just thought that was so cool, and it's actually one of my favorite black and white photos that I've taken. My mom actually printed it and put it in her house. She's a
Oh,
proud mom.
nice.
That's great.
That's great.
But yeah, she does have a print of this one in her house, because she also really liked it. But yeah, this was one of those where it's like, yeah, just that's why I say just take photos of anything and everything, because you just never know. Sometimes the photo turns out better than you even originally thought it would.
Amazing. This is the next one.
Oh, I remember this one. So this one is not film, it's digital. I was taking photos in Japan when I was there with my work. I was actually there on like a trip with my work. We were like hosting a trip in Japan, and I was along for the ride because I had lived there and I could help. It was our first trip in Japan, so I was able to help with
Mm-hmm.
um, location and very minimal translation and stuff like that. So we were walking around and I saw this guy and he was on the phone, and I just loved it. I just saw it. It just felt like a scene out of a movie to me or something. And I just saw him there and the light that was, shining down on him and just like how he stood out. It just looked like he was like a character in a movie or like a video game or something, like, the little light has like a little quest on him or something. So it was just super
Yeah.
cool. Like I just saw it, I just saw the whole scene for what it was. And yeah, I just took it, and I actually took a closer one, yeah, of him. I got kind of brave for this one because I was shooting it with a 23 millimeter, so which is a 35 full frame equivalent.
Yeah.
So I had to get pretty close. But one thing I will say about Japan is like again, they're so respectful that, and like people take a lot of photos there anyway, and I think they're used to the tourism, but like they usually don't react that bad to someone if like they know they're being taken a photo of. Usually they'll just kind of just, try to get out of your way or your photo, or like cover their face. But like I guess he was so deep in conversation he just didn't even really realize. But I had to go in for a closer portrait,
You are brave. You
and
are brave.
he didn't seem to mind. So, and I just love how like both photos, even though they are the same person, same place, they kind of tell different stories.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
his pose in the close up is another reason why I really loved it, like leaning against the wall there. So
Yeah. This is the
Yeah.
next one.
So this one I took. This is at our office, my job's office. I work for Moment. And this is at our Seattle office. This is one of my coworkers, Josh, and really good friend, really great friend. We were taking some photos. I got sent some film from Kodak as like a gift to shoot and to share and stuff. And I decided to, we had like this big, the blue backdrop is like on a pair of wheels. It's like a wooden wall that we basically painted, and we paint different colors sometimes. But Josh, offered to be a model for me, and I just was like, what can I have him do? I want to have him do something kind of different. And he's a huge plant lover. He has a lot of plants. Yeah, he has a lot of plants. And so I was just like, I kind of want you doing something, almost like you're not thinking about it, like you don't really, like you're not focused on it, just very nonchalantly, So I put the pot there and I got this water vase, and I was like, okay, I want you to water this plant like you're not really even thinking about it. So this was kind of like my way to photograph him and something that kind of defined him to me, or like something that I knew that resonated with him. But display it in a way that, maybe somebody looking at this photo, they don't know that. They don't know that he's a plant person, but it just, his pose and like his almost like carelessness with watering the plant, I don't know, it kind of draws you in and like kind of makes you feel like what's really going on here? Like, why is he just watering a plant, But yeah, I thought it was like a cool, I don't know, I kind of like to have people do different things when I take their photo. Sometimes I just like taking a portrait of somebody just because of how they look or who they are. But sometimes I like setting up a shot too. And this was one of those instances where I did. It's very rare that I get to do that because I mostly shoot street photography. So when I do shoot portraits, I try to make it at least a little bit interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah, transform that into a scene, into an action.
Right. Yeah.
And the last two are these. They're also a portrait with another concept, right?
Yes. So this one was actually in Japan. This was for my friend who is Canadian. She met her husband in Japan. We went to school together in Japan. We went to a language school together in Japan. And they got engaged, and then they wanted me to shoot their wedding. And I was very honored. And so we were staying at this really beautiful little house called the Moshi Moshi house, which it was like a telephone house. It was like out in the countryside in Japan. And it was an old like telephone house, which basically was like the only telephone in the little town in the mountains that people would go to make phone calls if they had to, kind of thing. But they converted it into a ryokan, which is like, like a Japanese, kind of like almost like a bed and breakfast kind of thing. But without like the breakfast part. It's just like a stay, like a hotel or Airbnb kind of thing. And so we got to stay there, and she wanted to take some photos. some like intimate photos for her wedding and like boudoir style, you know, and we did, and it was a lot of fun. But I also wanted to kind of take some photos that, you know, weren't the typical style and kind of gave a little bit more mystery and you know, kind of were more artistic, I guess, you know. This one wasn't unintentional. I didn't mean for it to be cut off there. Obviously, it was like the first of the frame, but I just love how it turned out. And you know, with the Japanese culture, the boudoir like style was already kind of like, ooh, I don't know, you know, like her husband, you know, obviously. So we wanted to make sure to make it very tasteful. So as you can see, like it's just like showing back, showing bone, showing shoulders, just showing skin, but not the typical boudoir shots that you would normally see where it's more sexualized and more, you know, which there's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, obviously being from Japan and with this
Yeah.
culture and a respect and an homage to the culture, you know, we wanted to keep it very, very simple, very elegant, you know. So, but yeah, these two shots, I love how they turned out. The other one was, you know, just some inspiration that I had gotten. Just like she's very tall, she's very model-esque. She does model now, and I always wanted her to model, and we just kind of had fun. She had a beautiful kimono, and I just loved like the lighting in this. It all came from that shoji, they call it, that paper kind of door that you see there. Yeah, that
Yeah.
paper window. So all of that natural light just was coming from that shoji, which kind of acted as like a natural softbox, you know,
Yeah.
almost like a diffuser. So it was really cool, and we just had some fun with it. So those were just some concepts that I came up with on the spot. Sometimes it just takes looking around and using what you have available to you, you know, and just trying to come up with an interesting image, like what I did with the last one too. With, you know, we had a plant pot, we had the watering can, you know, a cool chair. So I just was like, oh, this would be kind of cool. So just kind of seeing whatever you have around you and just trying to make something out of it sometimes can be a fun challenge, you know.